An international manhunt is underway for the suspected killer of pro cyclist Moriah Wilson.
Authorities say her murder is connected to a love triangle involving another pro cyclist. The Vermont native was fatally shot in Austin on May 11th. She was staying with a friend in the area while preparing for a race. And authorities are now searching for Caitlin Armstrong in connection to the murder. They believe the 34-year-old yoga instructor killed Wilson over an alleged affair with her boyfriend, Colin Strickland. Let's bring in Susan Pamerleau with more on this. She is a United States Marshal for the Western District of Texas. Marshal Pamerleau, welcome. Let's start with Caitlin Armstrong. She's believed to have flown from Austin to New York on May 14th. Is there any information about her whereabouts right now? Where is the search for her at this point?
Well, we know that she has made it to New York. And on May the 14th, and of course, that was 2 days after she had been interviewed by the Austin Police Department. And there were information that she was aware of that she knew Austin PD had identified her vehicle leaving the residence where Anna Moriah Wilson was murdered. And but there was no warrant for her arrest at the time. So we concluded that knowing that, then as quickly as she could, she left the Austin area. She was seen at the Austin Bergstrom International Airport and boarded a plane to Houston Hobby Airport. And from there, she moved on to, she flew to LaGuardia in Queens, New York. And from there, and obviously she could be anywhere, but we are pursuing leads and using the investigative tools that we have in the U.S. Marshal Service to continue that hunt for her. And, we've gotten numerous tips. And of course, we also appreciate you airing this story because who knows, someone may have seen her, they may have recognized her, they may have seen her going a particular direction, and that will assist us further in making sure that we're following up on all of these leads and doing everything we can in order to bring her back to Austin so that the Austin Police Department can continue their investigation into the murder.
Marshal, if you could break down the timeline of the events that happened the night that Moriah was killed.
Yes.
Moriah Wilson.
Mm-hmm. The Anna Moriah Wilson and Strickland had gone somewhere, and they returned back on his motorcycle and it was probably about just a little after 8 o'clock in the evening on May the 11th. Then we know that we have video of Armstrong's vehicle leaving the scene. And then in addition to that, and of course, there's been a federal criminal complaint that has been filed. And so after that May the 12th interview, she likely concluded that she was a suspect. And Austin Police Department had evidence of her vehicle being near the scene of the murder, and she'd not been seen or heard from after May the 13th, including all of her social media accounts. Of course, at that time, she was free to leave, and we knew she'd gone to the Austin Bergstrom International Airport. But we also know that a weapon was found at her home, and laboratory tests have determined that the shell casings at the murder scene were connected to that weapon. So all of this information together was put together, and a criminal complaint was filed in federal court. And as a result, 2 days ago, a federal warrant for her arrest was filed for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution.
And Marshall, I want to ask you about Colin Strickland. What has his role been in all of this? Has he been cooperating with the investigation at this point?
As far as I know, yes, but that's part of the murder investigation, and that's Austin Police Department. Now, we have a very unique role in the U.S. Marshal Service. Our role in this case is to locate and apprehend Armstrong and to bring her back to Austin so that they can continue their murder investigation. So specifics about the murder investigation are best directed to Austin Police Department.
All right, Susan Pamerleau, we thank you for joining us and giving us the details on her flight.
Well, and we just really appreciate the fact that you're giving us the opportunity to speak about this on national TV, because that will help us get even more tips and help us conclude this apprehension to get her back to Texas.
And that's what we do here at CBS News, on the stream, always on. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.